I'd like to give my final thoughts on Octavia. You might have seen my earlier video, you might have not, but that doesn't really matter. So I'd like to start off with her passive. She regenerates some energy when she uses an ability. As you can see, in the top right is the passive, and the bottom right, I'm slowly regenerating energy. This combines rather well with a mod called Energy Siphon. So you regenerate that little bit more energy, and it gets harder to run out of it, you know? That said, the passive doesn't stack, so if you use a lot of abilities in a short row, you're gonna lose energy. So, for her combined abilities and power, she does quite a nice job, but she has some issues. Here in the simulacrum it looks pretty nice though. Here. Or she walks pretty well. But when going into an actual mission, it's harder to get it to walk. So here all the enemies are nicely attacking my mallet, and they're taking decent damage. That will start to ramp up as long as the longer they attack it. But when you're in a squad with friends or pubs or whatever, it won't walk as nicely. The enemies will just target them or some operative, or you if you're not invisible. So yeah, it's a bit of an unreliable CC ability, I would say. So yeah, they do die eventually, but yeah, it does decent damage. But as I said, first the enemies have to attack it. If you have a squad mate that's killing everyone, then, well, the enemies won't attack your orb. And if they don't attack your orb, they will just, your orb will do jack shit, as you can see. That's a fresh orb. And they're not attacking it, and they're only getting 1 damage. That won't do. Yeah, they were stunned by the resonator, so they won't attack the orb. If you try tags, though, those absolutely destroy themselves. I think it's quite funny. Because as you might know, tags have just broken damage and destroy everyone. So also themselves. I just love seeing that. I think she's quite a nice frame all in all, but her first ability just won't do when you're in a squad. For single player it might be worth it though, because, oh, it's funny seeing enemies destroy themselves. Her third ability, Metronome, I already made a video on that, which basically just utilizes, well, a very monotone sound. And you can just spam any ability, basically, and you'll get a buff. And this will also affect your teammates. I can see this ability being quite useful in a squad, because you can make your whole squad invisible. If they stand near you, spam crouch, they'll go invisible as well. Or they shoot their gun, or attack with melee. It all works out neatly. Yeah, but that's just one ability. This buffs their damage a bit. That's also nice. So I guess she could be a buffer frame of sorts that also makes you invisible. I don't know. Yeah, she's a nice frame, but her abilities are just a bit too hard. gimmicky. Not sure. Her first is useless when enemies don't attack it. So when your squad is killing everyone, it's useless. Her second does a decent job at keeping enemies close or stunned. But that's all it does, and they walk around in a conga line. Her third, if you like spamming control, then, well, awesome ability. Her fourth, well, more damage, yay. It has its uses, obviously, but... And it buffs the first, which is useless if your squad is killing everyone. So yeah. Well, I suppose you might be interested in the builds I use. We got a brief look at one earlier. Yeah, this is one of my builds. It focuses mainly on the CC side of things. I don't think you need a lot of power strength with Octavia, unless you want to utilize her fourth, of course. But yeah, this is just continuity overextended, because the enemies will damage themselves. So I don't think power strength is that great a factor. For my other builds, this focuses purely on, well, yourself. This one has a lot more power strength, so you can get a bigger buff out of Amp. Also, if you activate other abilities, Amp will increase its damage. I forgot to mention that. As you can see, this is quite the sight. So yeah, but the main focus of this ability was Amp. So that if you're just running around the map, you get all the buffs, and they last quite a while. So you can see I'm slowly getting the speed buff, invisibility, because I'm using bullet jumps to get places. And, well, you're basically Loki, I guess, because you are faster than her regular 1.5 sprint speed. And you're invisible. And if your squad mate sticks very, very close, then you might help them as well. So yeah, that's my other build. So that's what I think of Octavia. Yeah, decent frame. That your squad mates need to know what you're up to if you want to be very useful. Who knows, maybe there's some secret meta I'm not aware of, but as of now, this is what she looks like to me. So, bye. Oh wait, not bye yet. I forgot to mention her Mandacord, which is something not many frames have. Only she has it. So yeah, this is the beautiful song I use. As you can see, it's not very imaginative. So if you decide to use this or something like this, I suggest you put the volume on 0 so your squad mates can keep their ears if their music is on, their Warframe music is on. So now it's nice and silent, and your abilities will still do the same damage. That will not change. But you get to keep your ears, so a win-win, I would say. Yeah, that's the other part I wanted to show. Well, see ya next time, maybe? Who knows? I hope you got some info out of this. I didn't. I made the video. I knew all the info. Bye.